moving to Unit 3. And this is one where, you might have to break some of this down in layman's terms because, this is where we get into some stuff that our finance team members might understand. But Unit 3 is over processes and controls. So help me understand, what are we talking about when we talk about processes and controls?
Yeah, so I could talk for an hour about this. I won't. So my background is I worked as a controller, which means you oversee finance teams, accounting teams, and controller oversees controls within an organization. So who has the ability to write checks, who has the ability to spend money, who reconciles the accounts, who has the authority within the organization to make financial decisions on behalf of that organization. That's really at a high level what we're getting into. So when you think about that in terms of a church, again, it's those same things like, so a pastor probably shouldn't be approving their own expenses and writing the checks and reconciling the bank account, or one person shouldn't be counting the offering, receiving the cash, taking it to the bank, even if you've known that person for a long time, just to protect them, just to, you need just proper accountability and transparency in place just to protect your organization. That's what we're talking about. We're talking about controls. And even from a small church to a big church, how do you have the right controls in place just so there's financial transparency and accountability, so there would never be any kind of questions of fraud or negligence, or that everything is above board and that there's the right oversight and everyone knows what's being done and that money is being stewarded well. And then you can think about what's the right approval process for credit card transactions, what's the right approval for bills that need to be paid, who's reviewing financials. Those are the things that we will get into in that session. And then you can even we'll get into some payroll topics, like we see this fairly regularly, like certain things like can we give gym memberships to our staff as a perk? If we do we need to report that as wages? Can the pastor take his suit to the dry cleaners? If so, do I need to report that as wages? All of those things. What's considered a fringe benefit? What's not? What's taxable wages? What's a no-no around reportable wages? What's a benefit? What's not? And then just good practices around just controls within a church finance team.
Yeah, it's really good. It seems like session 5 and 6 and unit 3, process and controls, is really kind of the engine of church finance. It's all the bookkeeping, expense management, payroll, like you said.
Sorry, let me say, and I touched a lot on the expense side, also the donor management side. I did touch on that piece a little bit too. Like, you need to have separate people counting the offering, then are taking it to the bank, then are reconciling the bank account. So there's that whole side of it as well.
Yeah, and what I love is during the course, we're going to talk about the high-level things, but in the discussion and in the interactive opportunities, you're going to have a chance to ask questions like, hey, what we use this, maybe we don't have a great donor management system. What do you guys recommend? These are the kind of little questions, like you were saying, that we get often, that we're hoping to really kind of centralize some of those answers and resources in the course. So I think a lot of really good practicals coming out of Unit 3.